Okay, right. So we've established we're going to get into that neck area a little bit. Let's just circle the elbows back so we release through the shoulders, and you can feel as you circle your shoulders go up and down, right? So they come up towards your ears and then they drop down. So allow that space to get bigger with the circles. And let's reverse and do 5 in the opposite direction. So I'm going forwards now as I was going backwards. Just check if you were doing the same. 1 more. Wow, lovely. Then inhale, draw the arms up overhead and lift out of your pelvis. Now when we're going to exhale, we're going to get left arm underneath and cross the right arm over the top. We're coming into eagle arms, so you wrap at the wrists and then you wrap the palms. If you can only wrap at the wrist, that's fine. Just lay your palms back to back in front of your nose. And what you'll feel is your shoulder blades drawing apart and you get a bit more of a roundness in your back. Inhale into that space in the back and slightly lift the elbows up. And then exhale. Draw the navel in and lift your belly upwards like you're getting a tight pair of jeans on, sucking the navel in. And drawing your chest upright so your shoulders are over your hips. Exhale, draw the shoulders now down the back towards the waist. Inhale. And exhale. Then as you exhale, just lean forwards and roll into a little ball. Keep your arms as they are. Tuck your chin. And feel your spine round. Then we're going to inhale, unravel and lift the arms up to the sky once again. So enjoy the opposition of the movement in the spine. Perhaps just reach left and right like you're climbing a ladder and feel the side body opening up a little bit as you lift out the waist. Great. And then we're going to reverse with the arms. So come and let the left arm the right arm come underneath the left arm over the top and then cross over the wrists and the palms. Inhale, navel in, draw up, sit up, lift the elbows. And exhale, heavy into your sit bones, relax your hips, relax your knee. Inhale, draw up. Exhale. So when you inhale, breathe into the space in between the shoulder blades. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. And then once again, exhale. Draw the shoulders in towards you. Softly, softly roll down. So your gaze goes to your navel. You really round through the shoulders. And when you're ready for an inhale, you unravel your arms, lift up out of your seat, and then place your left palm down by the side and take the right palm over the head. So gaze can be to the floor if your neck is really bothering you and stiff. Relax your left shoulder away from your ear. Create space there. Reach that right arm up. Inhale, heavy. Reach and heavy your right sit bone into the mat. So you're getting that really long straight line. Lovely. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Relax the knees, relax the hips. Inhale. And then exhale. Bend the elbow. Take the right palm over the ear. Keep the left hand extended out away from you and bring your head over towards your right side. So the left side of your neck is getting a little bit of a stretch here. You can tilt your chin in and see if you can engage different areas throughout the neck, tension throughout the neck. Actually, you could run your finger down your neck where you feel that tension, perhaps little circles again. Encourage release. Oh my goodness me. Maybe you're feeling the same. Oh, and then when you extend that arm back out, remember holding on to that heavy shopping bag and letting the left shoulder drop away from you. That will intensify the stretch. You may have reached your points where you are thinking, ahimsa, non-harm. So don't go too far, don't hurt yourselves. And equally, ahimsa, non-harm, come out with grace and gentle kindness towards yourself. So wrap your hands now over towards your right ear so that you can lift your head up and your neck is not doing the work. Drop it to the side and then just take a little circle with the nose in the air to ease through there. Okay, let's extend now the right hand over and let the left arm draw up. So again, choose where you want your gaze to be. It depends very much on how your neck is feeling. Heavy down with your left sit bone so that you can extend that stretch through the side body. Soft through your right arm. Inhale, feel your intercostal muscles separate as your lungs expand. Exhale, reinvest in that arc that you're making, that rainbow shape. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale, come up, and then we're going to take that next stretch in the opposite direction. So keep that right hand extended away from you. The left palm comes over the right ear, fingertips down towards the neck. Inhale, and then let the breath be the softness that you need to get into those stubborn areas. You can take your little massage up there again if you like. Oh my goodness gracious me. If you're one for having regular massages and you haven't been able to have one for a while, this is when you notice, oh my goodness. Okay, extend the arm out again, let the shoulder be heavy and drop, intensify the stretch. Lovely. And then let that hand come over to the opposite ear. Keep the weight in the palm, the weight of the head in the palm as you lift up your neck. And perhaps do a few little left and right. Get turns, get into the neck there. So now that it's a bit more relaxed, you can lubricate with a bit of movement. Let it be integral. So we're going to come now up to standing into our sun salutations. We're going to practice with a little bit more fluidity today. We're going to take some variations of sun salutation B, and it may be slightly quicker than we usually practice, but I think because we've been practicing together for a while that you're ready for it. If I've judged that wrongly for you, then you just go into downward facing dog or child's pose at any point where you feel like you might need a rest. So let's warm up with sun salutation A, feet together at the top of the mat. Draw the tailbone down, the abdomen in, and the arms rest by the side. Inhale, look up, draw up. And then exhale, fall forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. So this is where you want to think about really like letting your tummy draw inward. So I'm pushing my rolls up towards my abdomen and let the shoulders draw away from the ears and straighten and lengthen the back. Exhale, place the palm, then step back the right leg and the left leg straight into plank. So hold yourself up with your navel here. Draw the abdomen in. Lower down and then inhale either into cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale into downward facing dog. So if this is the first downward facing dog of your day, say hello to this posture, very familiar to you now. Check that your palms are spread and massage a little bit through your feet. So roll through the balls of your feet, roll onto your toes, and then stretch your heels down as if they're going to come into contact with the floor. Enjoy the stretch through the armpits to the fingertips. The spine is like dropping down. It's really nice, symmetrical extension for the spine. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale and take the gaze to the palms and step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, draw up, look forwards. Draw that navel in. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, draw up, look up. Exhale, Tadasana. Excellent. Well, you're all here for the end, so let's try Sun Salutation B. Draw the navel in, inhale, and sit down into your imaginary chair. Let your arms stand in front of you and feel your shoulder blades broaden. Inhale, lift up and away from your belly. And then exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop into plank. And then come forwards into, and then lower down. And then inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Now this is where it gets quick. Inhale, lift the right leg forward, take it to the right edge of the mat. Turn your left leg out to about 11 o'clock and inhale, draw up. Feel the weights lift. As you exhale, you lower straight back down. Bring your legs back to plank and lower all the way down. So that's one exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. And repeat on the left-hand side. Take the left leg over to the left side of the mat. The right foot grounds down, points to number 2. Inhale, draw up. And then exhale, place the hands back, step back into plank and lower down, all in one smooth exhalation. And then inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So you can have a rest here. This is Vinyasa, so you move with your breath. 5 breaths here. Imagine you're on your 3rd at least. Slow down your exhalations and lengthen them. 1 more breath here. At the base of your last exhalation in downward facing dog, tuck the navel, bend the legs. You can either step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look forwards and sit back down into your chair. Span your arms forwards and press through the feet to come up to standing. Exhale the arms back down. Woo, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to build on that Vinyasa flow so it gets a little bit quicker. Inhale, draw the arms forward. Exhale, sit down into your chair. Inhale, lift the arms up and the belly away from the thighs. So scoop out the navel. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift up, look forwards, lengthen the back. Exhale, step or hop into plank. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, but make your legs come into warrior 1 once again. Inhale, draw up. And then exhale, come into warrior 2. So your hips are now on the lengthways of the mat. Inhale, flip the front palm, lean back towards the back leg, peaceful warrior. Exhale, come back into your warrior 2. And then inhale, come into your eagle arm. So your front arm is underneath, your back arm comes forwards. Lift up in the center. So you draw your arms back towards the spine and you inhale, draw up. Lovely. Exhale, release the arms either side of the front foot. Step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale into downward facing dog. So I'm going to let you have a rest here. Come down into child's pose. Let the knees come wide, the toes touch. You can have the arms in front of you. Let the forehead come down onto the mat. So this is building heat in ourselves. Getting ourselves access to this wonderful reserve of, well, it's just a wonderful reserve that we have in us that we often don't tap into. So just let yourselves feel the heat, Slightly enjoy the quickness in your breath if you can. And as you do, you'll notice that your breath conversely slows down a bit, which is what we want before we get going once again. And repeating that on the opposite side. So everyone inhale now. We're going to come back into plank. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Put the weight through the right leg. Pick the left knee up and take it to the front of the mat. Externally rotate your left leg comes to the front, your right leg externally rotates, so the toes point to 2 o'clock. Inhale, draw the arms up, warrior one. And then exhale, move your left foot into the center of the mat and come into your warrior two. So arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, draw the left arm away from the left knee. Peaceful warrior, right hand goes to your calf or your thigh. Inhale, exhale, come back. And then inhale, bring your back arm over the top of your front arm. And I'll just hop to the other side so you can see. And then your eagle arms come to the center. Inhale them up. And then unravel the arms, place them either side of the front foot. Exhale, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Now 5, does it feel like a big number or a small number? Does it matter? Take your time with it. Enjoy it. Flood yourselves with fresh oxygen, with long, deep breaths. Okay, so at the base of your 5th exhalation, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, hop to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the navel in, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sit down into your chair, span your arms forward, and exhale, press through the feet, come up to standing Tadasana. Lovely. I wonder how you found that. You could always tell me in the comments. Now we're going to stand back at the front of the mat. I'm just coming to my habitual place so that you're used to how you're seeing me. Feet together and just step the left leg back, so about a leg length distance between the feet. The heel lines up with the instep of the back foot, and we're going to come into triangle. So inhale and draw the arms parallel to the floor, and just imagine for a moment that somebody is pulling you forwards and another person is pulling you backwards. A little tug of war, and then you're going to let your front arm win the war, win the race. Come down and take a hold of either your ankle, your shin, your thigh, or yogi toe grip over the big toe. With your left palm, just draw your left hip backwards a little bit more and make sure that your spine isn't curving round right now. So draw your crown more in line with your hips. Hold strong in your right waist, and inhale, draw up, and let your nose line up with your thumb if you can. Rotate your lower shoulder away from your ear. Keep lifting your body away from the mat. So the waist, where you're folded at the waist, it wants to lift up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Take the gaze down to the floor. Bend at the knee. Place your right palm on the outside edge of your right foot. So you want to be 90 degrees. You may have to lengthen your stance because you want your knee to be above your ankle, not beyond it. And then inhale, draw your left arm forwards so that it points over towards the wall, just up beyond your head. Press your right knee into your right hand, so you're creating a nice strong base there. Extended side angle, lovely. You could take your gaze under your armpits and then follow through to your fingertips. Lovely. Take the gaze down to the floor and let both palms make contact with the ground. And then walk yourself so that you are actually facing the long edge of your mat. And turn your toes to face the long edge of the mat too. Your feet are just about parallel. And you notice that you are now folded over in a wide-legged forward fold. So if you can, just walk your hands forward slightly. Take the weight more into your toes. Lift your torso away from the ground. Good. Inhale, extend your spine, and then exhale, just let yourself, with gravity, fold forwards, and the gaze goes in between the legs. Perhaps the forearms come down to the ground, perhaps not. And slow your breath, locate your belly breath, soften the belly. Freely access here what is available to you, but often constricted. Lovely. At the base of the next exhalation, I'd like you to inhale and gently lift your body up halfway once again. Bend through the knees and float your palms up to your waist. Inhale, draw up to standing. We're going to practice another variation of that posture. Inhale, draw the arms out. Exhale, interlace them behind the back and let the fists draw down towards the ground behind you. So you feel a strong lift through the chest. Inhale here. And then exhale, soften the knees as you draw yourself again parallel to the floor. Then as you fold further forward, straighten the knees and let the fists come as if they're going to fall behind your head onto the floor. So easing through the shoulders. Now you can wriggle a little left and right here, and you might find that you're getting into pockets of tension that you didn't realize you had. Come back to that belly breath again. And so you want to make sure you're drawing up through your kneecaps here, strengthen through the legs, quite strong on the legs. Okay. So if you think you can, keep your arms in this position, soften through the knees, inhale, draw up. Look up to the sky, draw the fists down behind you one last time, and then exhale, let the arms flow open and out to the side. Gorgeous. Then we're going to come into triangle on the opposite side. So you're going to turn your left feet. I know I'm demonstrating, it looks like my right foot, doesn't it? I just realized that. Take your right foot, but take your left foot to point in the opposite direction. Keep the outer edge of your right foot pointing down. And then you're going to, once again, draw down towards your left toe. Roll your hip, your right hip open. And inhale, draw up with your right arm. So you're going to follow your thumb with your nose. Your crown of the head is in line with your hips, so avoid making a curve with your body. And you're lifting up through the waist where it's folding, so you're lifting up. Outer edge of the back foot presses heavily into the mat. Inhale gently from the belly. Soften your gaze, soften your jaw. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, one more breath here. And then exhale, take your gaze to the ground and bend 90 degrees into your front leg. And then I'd like you to take your palm to the outside edge of that leg And inhale, draw the other palm right up to the ceiling. Then stretch that arm forward. So you're getting that wonderful lateral extension of the spine. Take your gaze from the armpit through to the fingertips. And again, it's really important that you place a lot of heaviness through the outer edge of the back leg. Lovely. Place both palms by the front foot and turn the back foot to face sort of towards you, if you like. And then step back into your plank. Lower down your knees and draw back once again into a child's pose. So walk yourselves back towards your knees. Let the head have a rest heavy on the floor. So if you tried wide legs child's pose last time and it's space for you to draw your knees a bit further together, or if you prefer to have them wide, that's fine. Just practice. It's nice also to have the arms alongside the body. And then inhale, gently draw yourselves back up to seating. So I'm just going to practice something a bit differently here. We're going to come into a few postures that address the hips before we finish. So I'm going to be coming face onto you to make it easier to describe. If you would just like to come to the tops of your mats and come into downward facing dog one more time. So how does this downward facing dog feel different to earlier ones? Are you feeling a little bit more open in the back seams of the body? You've done lots of bending now through the legs as well. How has that changed things? I'd like you to lift the right leg up, draw the right knee into your chest, come onto the ball of the left foot and propel yourselves forwards. Now we're going to take the right knee to the outer edge of the right wrist and come into pigeon pose. It's the Marmite pose, right? You love it or you hate it. Really good if you have tight hips, if you have any symptoms of sciatica or tight hamstrings. Now I have to rely on you to check that you're not leaning over to your right hand side, which can be the tendency. So place some weight, good weight into your palms and just see if you can encourage yourselves over towards your left leg a little bit more. So spread the weight evenly through the hips. Relax your belly. If this is not a comfortable posture for you, I'll be showing an alternative as soon as I've walked into the full pigeon pose, okay? So hold back a second if it's causing you pain. So we're going to inhale, lift up the belly, and then exhale, walk the palms forward and drape over your front right foot. So you can make a stack with your palms and rest your forehead there. So if you're in full pigeon pose, it's there for 8 breaths. If you prefer an adaptive pigeon pose, then bring both legs forwards. Take your right knee and cross it over the left knee. And I think, we've done this a few times on our backs, so you can take it onto the back if you prefer. You would then take the right hand through the middle, finds the left hand under the left knee. And you can either work with that sitting up, or you can lie back down and do a supine pigeon pose. So it's targeting the same muscles, but at a very different sort of level of intensity for you. So you just find what's right for you. If you're in full pigeon posture, I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least got something from it. To come out, extend the palms forwards once again and walk the body upright. If you were lying on your back in a supine pigeon, if you could come forward to sitting upright, we're all going to bring the left leg forwards. So we're either going to extend, stack the left leg on top of the right leg, like this. So you're sitting with one knee on top, one foot on top. The firewood pose, it's called. Or if that's not, again, if that's not comfortable for you, extend the right leg out and just let the left leg sit in front. So again, either way, we're going to try and get a little bit into the hips here. So inhale, draw up. We're also going to take cow-faced arms. So let the right elbow draw down. See if you can come into the left hand, either grasping the right hand from underneath or take hold of your t-shirt. You can just feel that you can push against your spine and lift the chest. And then we're going to start to just millimeter by millimeter draw ourselves forward. So as you come forwards, you might feel the conversation start with the hips. And when that conversation gets interesting, slow down and listen to it. Engage with it. Keep the weight in your sit bones. That will stop you from tilting forward too much. Eventually you can round down slightly if you can. Let the forehead come to the ground. If you have a leg extended, do the same thing, but just with the one leg out in front of you. And then inhale, draw up. And then exhale, swap over the arrangement of your legs. So this time my right leg is coming on top, my left arm is dropping down the back. Or if you're doing with one leg extended, extend the left leg out. Keep the toes drawing up and towards you, so active right through the toes. Inhale for that axial extension, for the length in the front body. And then exhale, draw forwards. So we're getting into the shoulders here. The spinal extension. The hips, particularly if you have your legs stacked. And inhale and draw yourselves up. Release the arms. Perhaps you just want to roll the shoulders left and right because that's quite an intense one for the shoulders. And then we're going to come into that pigeon arrangement on the opposite side. So whichever side, whichever posture you took, whichever variation you took on the first side, try and do the same variation on the other side. But if you're feeling adventurous, likewise, don't shy away from acknowledging the asymmetries of our body. You can maybe try something different too. So this time you're having the left leg at the front of the mat. So you can extend the right leg behind you and just make sure that you're easing through to placing an equal weight on both hips. Again, you're not leaning over towards the left side. Your fingertips are really important here. It's another place for you to wait there. Inhale and draw the navel upwards, lengthen through the front body, and you can then extend and exhale and come down onto the mat. So 8 nice long breaths here. Just check in with your jaw that it's not clenching and relax your tongue in your mouth. base of your next exhalation, come out of your pose. So extend your palms in front of you and inhale, draw upright. So if you have to leave for 1 o'clock, I would recommend that you simply come into the seated posture and take the 3 breaths that we usually close on. If you want to come into a shavasana, then just lay yourselves gently onto the mats behind you. Lift your hips up and lower them slightly further down the mat to feel your pelvis release on the floor underneath you. And then with the same impact, lift up your shoulders, lower them slightly further down the mat so you feel your shoulder girdle spread. Perhaps just let your arms come out to your side and let your knees fall left and right, just to get a little bit of rotation through the lumbar spine. That's an area that we haven't worked very much today, and it can be really nice just to acknowledge that that's also an area that gets very static from a lot of seating. If you've enjoyed opening up through the hips, you can then let the knees fall apart and come into Supta Baddha Konasana. It can ease Supta Baddha Konasana by placing your palms face down underneath your buttocks. It just gives you that little lift that eases the dropping open of the knees. Keep the gaze very soft. If you want to have the eyes open, then that's fine. If you're lowering the lids, it does have that sense of dropping slightly deep, slightly kind of into ourselves, which in a shavasana is very appropriate. Have a moment of introspection. Perhaps ask yourselves, can you notice any subtle differences in your internal state between now and the start of the class? So you're basically asking yourself, what makes now different from before? And also asking yourself, well, what's likely to be different about now and the moments to come? So again, what distinguishes now from the future? And the more flags that we plant in the now, the more familiar we become with living in the present. You may well notice that you feel less concern and worry, and less hang-ups follow you around. So the practice of yoga is wonderful to access this space and to provide us with an opportunity to reflect on the quality of the current moment. Soften the brow and the jaw and the gaze, the tongue. Let the shoulders release a little bit more into the mat. Realize how that impacts your limbs, the rest of your arms. Heavy them down. Relax your rib cage. Relax your pelvis. And again, notice how that changes how your thighs feel, your knees, your ankles, your toes. Notice the micro movement. Try not to instigate any movement now. What does stillness feel like to you? What qualities does it have? Are these qualities you value? Perhaps you can tune into some very subtle sensations. Can you feel your pulse anyhow? Can you maybe hear it in your ears? Where can you feel your breath? Could you even feel something going on in your digestion? how clever our vehicles are. Okay, this is an MOT, checking in. See if throughout the week you can make little pauses and moments to check in with how you feel. It's the best way to respond and make adjustments. The best way to decide if there's action that needs to be taken to adjust, to help you, to support you. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, you could wriggle your palms free, place them on the outer edges of your thighs, and draw your knees up to the center. Otherwise, everybody, if you're in regular Shavasana, just draw your knees into the chest and meet us there, and do a little rock and roll to massage out through the hips, left and right. You can go front and back too if you feel so inclined. Perhaps flex and point the toes a little bit, get a little bit more movement into the legs. You can do a couple of little massages, rubs, whatever you feel is necessary before you turn over onto your side. Keep it slow and mindful, aware that you may feel dizzy as you draw back up into seated. Take in your surroundings, perhaps they feel different. Cross the legs, and let's take 3 breaths to close the practice. Inhale, draw up, look up, and exhale. Think about that practice of kindness to yourselves. Inhale, draw up, look up. Exhale. Also consider the non-grasping, the concept that keeps you content within the moment. Inhale, draw up, look up. Lovely. Exhale. Think about having that sense of moderation within our actions. Lovely. Namaste. Thank you so much for prioritizing this practice. Really appreciate you coming. I hope you keep well and to catch up soon. Cheerio. Thank you.
Bye.